Yeah, my people, is your boy Frigate TV. This is Frigate TV watching live and direct from Philippines, Asia. So keep watching. Don't forget to share and always subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, the like button to send message or go viral. Very important.
Don't forget to touch those dials. Okay, no, but the first question is it okay to marry rather than going back home to go and get married as a Nigerian?
Well, it all depends. A lot of people do it. They go back home to marry, but it all depends why they go home to marry.
Okay. So, Ate, what do you think?
It, de- it really depends on the situation. Like there are a lot of Nigerians or even other how do I say this nationalities that marries here in the Philippines and go back to their country. So it really depends on the situation.
Okay. Now, the second question is it okay for someone who already has an established family here? You have a nice wife, you have kids, yeah, children. Is it okay for you to still go back home to get married?
Yeah, just like I said, it depends, and don't forget these Africans are not Asians. Like in African, some the tradition or custom plays a bigger role, and also apart from that, the family also pressure from home, it also plays a role. And when you get married here, have kids here, some of these persons believe that you might not be able to take your kids home. And this is where the confusion sets in. And you find that at the end of the day, the man is thinking of, if I die, who will bear my name? Who will, So these are the problem. And that is why most of them are not comfortable enough to, let me say, like Filipinas now will not even want you to go with these kids. That is the confusion. And most times, you having a Filipina as a wife or a spouse or a partner, you already know the behavior of the person you you're staying with. So at this point, it becomes a problem because you know best. That is why you find out that some persons will go back home to either marry. Not they are not marrying because they just want to marry. They just want to have kids. Because in Africa, the most important thing is having someone to succeed you, especially a male child. I don't know if you're getting me. Just like the same way in Philippines, they value female kids, like child, more. Africa, our concentration is more on the male.
Okay, thank you. Now, Ate, you as a Filipino, like, do you think it's okay that for a Nigerian man who already has family here, do you think it's okay, or is it fair for you for them to go back home and get married?
Well, to be honest, that's a sensitive question to ask because not everyone has its own beliefs. But if you're gonna be asking me like because of the culture we follow, of course not. We believe in just one family, just one wife, one husband, family and kids. That's it. But really still depends on like the culture you follow. And it also depends on how you talk about the situation. If it's just because of the child, then it's okay. But again, it really depends on how you and your partner talked about it. Because not everyone would understand the situation.
Okay. So now I have a life situation, a true life story that the man said he already had a Filipino wife and they've been together for almost 15 to 16 years, and the Filipino wife is a very good woman according to him. But last 2 years, he decided out of family pressure to go back and get married. Now the marriage to the black woman is not up to uh, 2 years, and they're already having issues that the lady had to even block him all social media platforms. Now mind you, he met this lady, they courted for 7 months online before he went to do the marriage. So what in this situation, like, who do you think is at fault now? Is it the man who left his loving family? Mind you, the woman already has a male child for him. Or is it the woman, the Filipino woman, who gave her consent to her husband to go and get married?
For me, I think both. Especially if you yourself, you did not explain that further to your wife what's gonna happen and all that. And courting someone online is not new. It happens. But you really have to be careful regarding that matter, because not everyone has better understanding on how online relationship works, and how are you going to work hard to make it, the relationship work. So in this case, it's both. It's the guy, it's the Nigerian guy or the African guy, and it's the African girl's problem here. And the one that is, how do I say this? The one that you can say will not like the situation is the Filipino wife, if she knows what's really happening and how your culture works. Because again, if it's not really explained properly, then that's where the problem is.
But in this aspect, the wife is aware that the husband wants to get married to another woman. The wife is aware. You understand? The wife is aware. So now, you as an African man, a Nigerian man, who do you blame? Do you blame the man who met someone online? Or do you blame the Filipino woman that gave her husband the consent to go and marry?
Well, I don't blame the woman. I think the man might have explained properly to her. And you said they've been together for 12 to 17 years, right? It's a huge time. And I think she, on her own, have an understanding of how the culture works. But let us not say culture at all time. I've met so many people here in this country, Nigerians, Africans. They will tell you they have a Filipino wife, partner or spouse, but they don't intend to have another relationship or get someone, another wife in Africa. Do you know the reason? Because they believe they've gotten everything they want in this woman. One thing is, when in this relationship or meeting a Filipino, what is the target? You understand? A lot of people are going into these things out of what they will benefit. So at this point, it becomes a problem, because the both of them, they both know this one is with me for this reason and this one is this. But the woman accepting, knowing full well that this African man wants somebody to succeed him as a child, because what every African man is interested in, it's a male child back home, a child that will represent you, a child that will stand if you're no longer, a child that will continue your lineage. This is why, in Africa, especially the Igbos, the female kid does not continue a lineage. It's mostly men, and that is why if you watch more, you find that more Igbo men or African men want that lineage thing to continue, and that's why they will tell you, or even if they don't tell you, they might go home too. But one thing I want to tell you is that with that, one thing I want to tell you, I want to assure you is that there's a lot of men